This is my DIY CO2 setup. I have my generator, which is inside a rum chata bottle. You see the hose coming out and going into my reactor, which is in an amaretto bottle. You see the hose going all the way to the bottom into the water. You see the bubbles coming out of the tube, which is also acting as my bubble counter and my filter. That's what the reactor does. So far, if you count the bubbles, it's 1 bubble a second. And all that CO2 comes up into the second hose that's in my amaretto bottle, which then goes into my tank that you can see back there, and that goes into a little power filter, an Hagen Elite power filter, which I picked up for $10 at Petland, which is pretty much a bargain. And that chops up all the little bubbles and disperses them into my tank, which the tinier the bubbles, the better the C2 is. I don't even know if you can see the bubbles, but they're really microscopical, floating around everywhere in my tank, giving CO2 to my plants. And this has only been set up for 1 day, so you can't really see a difference yet, but it's supposed to help give CO2 to all my plants. And you can see all the little bubbles dancing around. Now my fish haven't changed at all. They're still looking very healthy. If you have too much CO2 in your tank, all your fish will be swimming up top. Which right now all my fish are swimming where they normally swim, usually in the center. And my betta, well, he breathes air anyway, so he's always up top. But all my ender livebearers are pretty much in the middle. And my algae eater is somewhere in the bottom. I can't really see him, but yeah, he's fine. He's at the bottom. There he is. There you go, Samwise. Samwise the Brave. Oh, that's my CO2 setup. Got my generator, which is in a rum chata bottle. It's mixed with yeast and sugar and some baking soda to help steady the flow of CO2, which then goes into the reactor, gets filtered out, and count the bubbles, and then it goes into the Elite filter, which chops up all the bubbles, which I had to modify. That only took like 30 minutes, and disperses them into the tank. Now if this goes good, I'm gonna order online a different diffuser, not the Elite Power Filter. I'm going to do the ladder system for this tank and see if the ladder works better or worse than the power filter, which everybody says it works worse because the ladder just makes the CO2 sit in the tank longer instead of this power filter chopping them up into tiny little bubbles to get absorbed faster. Well, that's my setup. DIY CO2.